usually in books, they're about 10 pages on a Word document. And so, like, that's what I try to do, and sometimes it doesn't work because, like, you need a cliffhanger there. But it's, like, I don't know how people write these stories. Because now I'm, like, I'm busy. I don't know how people make time for this. Like, I barely have time to eat, so... I mean, I'd like to continue it. And I definitely want Bleeding Hearts to get published, because I think it could be something. But I don't know.
What is your major English?
No.
What's your major?
My major's public relations.
Oh, okay.
And then I have a minor in media studies. I probably should change it. But ideally, I want to go... I have this whole, like, idea in my head that I want to go, like, write movies.
Okay.
Because I'm fed up with books being turned into movies and they suck.
Yeah.
Or, like, I love Outlander so much. And the thing I like about it is it's a Starz series. So, it's a TV show, but it's based on a book, and they do it exactly like the book. And
wow.
I think that's why I enjoy it so much. But, like, Percy Jackson, I was fed up.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, City of Bones, I was fed up, because it's nothing like the book. Even the Shadowhunters show, I was like, God, I was so excited. I was like, they're gonna fix their mistakes. And then I watched the first episode, like, no, they didn't.
By the way, Outlander, the author, she is a very outspoken author about hating fan fiction.
Yeah, I know. But, like, then again, I think it's more of, like, fiction, if that makes sense, like, taking a book and making it fan fiction.
Yeah.
Because, like, at least for me, like, when you develop characters, they're kind of like your babies. Like, you've made them who they are. I mean, yeah. But, like, I play a devil's advocate. Like, I understand where she's coming from, and especially because I enjoy Outlander so much, I understand it's such a delicate relationship between all the characters that to write a fan fiction would almost, like, not work. Is the best way I get to, like, the other Game of Thrones is the same way, but like he started writing fan fiction, so
oh, he did?
Yeah. But he doesn't consider it fan fiction, but that's what it was. And he considers, like, the television show fan fiction, because now it's surpassed the point where it's no longer where the books have, like, gone. Well, yeah, because he's...
I haven't watched it, so...
I haven't watched it either, but, like, all my friends who watched it, they're like, yeah, well, this is the last book, but, like, the seasons are, like, this season ahead.
Oh, so, I do remember that he was upset that they were, like, continuing the show.
But, I mean, like, you can't just wait.
Yeah.
Well, you have, like, so many series, like, that series has been going on, like, a long time, like, that television series, and you have only so many series, like, books in a series, but you're still writing them, and you're just taking your sweet time, like, you're gonna get to the point where it catches up. So, I mean, I've heard great things about the show, so maybe he should just write, like, from the show. I don't know. But, like, it just... I understand both sides, but, like, kind of biased because I do write fan fiction. Oops. But, like, I do think writing... People might disagree, but I do think writing AU is harder than writing canon stuff, because with AU you develop the universe, you develop all the characters. With, like, canon, like, yeah, you might develop one or two new characters, but you're using somebody else's universe. So, like, I can understand why that would make authors mad. Yeah. It's like, I'm trying to, like, vocalize my thoughts. Yeah. But I had coffee today. I get, like, twitchy from hoodwinked.
So what about your family? What do they think about your work?
I'm pretty sure. Oh, my brother, like, my younger brother teases me for it. He's like, yeah, fan fiction. But, like, it's, like, a little brother thing to do. But he's read some of my stuff. Like, when I wrote the historical fiction, the opening chapter involves, my brother's, like, a historian, like a history nut. I don't know where it came from. But he's smart. But we don't need to tell him that. like, so would this be something that could happen, like, with, like, this gun? Would that happen? And he'd be like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's accurate. Or, look, change this. And so, like, he has read, and he is supportive in that way, but, you know, he's, like, the teasing younger brother that he's, like, it's, like, part of his job description or something. I'm pretty sure my mom didn't even know that I was publishing on Wattpad in 2013. My dad's military, so he's kind of, like, sketchy about being out there on, like, internet, which is, like, understandable. But, you know, when we first started publishing, we weren't using our names, like, it was, like, we're being secretive. And I'm pretty sure my mom didn't know. And then, like, one day in the car, like, I think it's when we hit, like, 1 million reads, I was excited, so I was kind of like, so, Mom. And, like, gosh, she knows about it, and then, like, she tells my grandparents about it. And I've gotten texts. I've gotten texts from my grandparents being like, we want to read your book. And I'm like, no. Oh, gosh, no. At least my grandmother's really, like, she really wants to read Bleeding Hearts, and I'm like...
Is it more because it's your baby and it's your work, or is it the fan fiction element?
It's probably, like, a little bit of both. One, my, you know, grandparents, they grow up in such a different time, they don't really understand fan fiction, even though it's really been around since, like, Shakespeare, because we all know that some of his plays weren't original.
Yeah.
But part of it's also, like, I don't want her knowing the things that I know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, there's something bad in Bleeding Hearts, because it is relatively, once again, I want it to be more about the story rather than, like, the little side elements. But, I don't know. She's also just a hard judger, so I don't want to be judged that hard, which is gonna happen if I publish it, but I don't need it to be in the family.
So, growing up, were you always an avid reader? Did you always want to write?
No, not at all. I actually hated reading for the longest time. I blame it on my kindergarten teacher. Sweetest lady, but didn't start us reading, whereas most of the other kindergarten classes had literally started. And so I kind of put the blame there that because I didn't really know how to read, that I didn't enjoy it as much because it was like a chore, it was like homework, which they make me read books for class and I don't want to do it. It's like rejection.
Yeah.
I know, just the
could be a
good
good book.
It could be really good. I've only had that happen once. And then, yeah, I really wasn't a big reader. Like, I'd read maybe like 1 or 2 books. It really hit, 5th grade when the Percy Jackson series came out. Or, like, the movie got picked up and they were making movies. So my mom was like, you can only see the movie if you read the book. And I was like, okay. And then that series just kind of made me an avid reader. And I didn't really read that much in high school just because time, but... Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, that series, the Hunger Games series, the City of Bones, the prequel series to that.
Hunger Games was one of my required readings. Really? Yeah, freshman year of high school.
Percy Jackson was a required one, except for some class that I didn't take. And I was so upset. No, I read Hunger Games before it, like...
got big.
Before it got big. I'm a hipster that way. No, it was because my friend had read it, and she was like, oh, you should read this book. And it was before, like, they started talking about a movie. And it was in the library. So I was like, yeah, I'll read it. That's, like, years of my life I won't get back. I love those books. People are like, I don't like Hunger Games now. And I'm like, well, that's a lie. Because I know at one point you did.
Yeah, everybody did.
It's a good concept, and it's a good thought-provoking thing. Yeah, and that's when, like, I enjoyed reading more. I never was, like, I still don't really consider myself the best writer. Because, like, I think Tess had more success, so I just was like, okay, my ideas are good, but, like, to write it, it's her thing. And, like, I love her. And I've never actually, like, voiced that to her, but that's how it, like, kind of feels sometimes, because, like, her books would be so successful, and then I try writing by myself, and then people would be like, okay, we'll like it, here. Okay, we're done. And so, I think also the problem was we were writing in 2 different times because I really didn't write a lot separate from Lights in 2013, 14, and she did. And so, like, I know, like, my grammar's not the best. I have to take the pug test.
I only passed that by one question.
Yeah, I took it for the first time without studying, and I was like, we're in a mistake. I was, like, missed by 4, and I was like, oh my god. Next time, whatever. And, like, and that's also a different style. It's AP style.
Yeah,
and, like, I wasn't familiar. I was like, MLA, what?
Yeah, now you're probably...
Yeah. And so, like, I'm a very descriptive writer, whereas Tess is not. And some people, like, people like that in some regard, but they also sometimes don't like it. But I really like that sensory stimulation in novels. Yeah. Daddy Issues was like that. It's so good. Oh,
I'll have to look at it. I've never heard of that.
It's in my reading list, but oh, it made me cry. Oof.
So, how, like, I know some people, like, are you comfortable talking about the monetary side of this? Like, do you make money off of...
No.
No?
I wish.
Because there are ads now, so...
Yeah, so I did look into it. It's still a trial thing, so they've only selected, like, a handful of authors. Sometimes people get paid, and I'm like, why? Because I'll be reading this, and I'm like, this isn't that great. But their following's probably big. I think it's also didn't help that we weren't around for, like, 3 to 4 years when that became kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like Tess would have gotten paid so much money. Like, but, I wish I got paid. And then, like, looking for publication, like, I didn't know that ISBN numbers costed money. I knew that copyrights costed money.
Yeah.
I did not know that ISBNs cost money.
Yeah, I didn't know
That was a 12 a.m. research time. So I was like, Mom. And she was like, it's fine. Because you only have to buy one, and it's just, but they're like $100 each.
Yeah.
I'm a college student. I don't want that kind of.
And there's other things too, like covers and all that.
Yeah. I mean, Canva. Plug. No, Canva's great.
Yeah, it is.
And that's what I used on my covers right now. I was like, what's that word? I redo my covers a lot, which makes some people mad. They were like, on the original Lights, they're like, don't change this cover, it's iconic. I'm like, is it?
I never felt that way about it.
I know. I never thought either. I was like, it's just been this way so long, and I guess I'll leave it.
Yeah.
But I like new covers. I get excited when, like, old books change their covers. I'm like, oh, new things.
Like, I already have a copy of this book, but, like...
But, like, this one's pretty.
Yeah. I do the same thing.
Yeah, no, like, Cassandra Clare, on her book, she does it a lot, too. Like, I don't have an example because these are, like, the original covers, but, like, oh, they're so pretty now, and I want them, but I'm like, I already own this book.
Yeah. It's like, where am I going to put more books? Okay, so now we'll just talk about, like, basic stuff, like how old you are and where you're from, and I don't think I even know your last name, too.
It's Jurgemeyer. It's a long one.
Oh.
Yeah, Jurgemeyer. It's long and ugly. Yeah, no, I'm 19. I'm a sophomore for now. I think I'll actually be considered a junior by hours next semester.
Oh.
If things go my way. I'm originally from San Diego, California, and then I moved here in, like, the 5th grade to San Antonio. I'm not that exciting of a person.
Was that because of your dad's military?
Yeah, kind of. So he was deployed to Iraq for a year, and he was self-employed in California, and then, like, the recession hit, and so it dried up, and then he came back, he was like, okay, got a new job. Because he works a civilian job now, so it's not even military related, but so out of all the places, it was San Antonio. I remember being in 5th grade being like, where the hell is that? I'm like,
what branch?
Navy.